Good morning. Thank you for being with us on THV 11 and streaming on THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller. Hayden will join us later for our THV 11 Summer Serial Drive. I think my mic just went out. Hey, ladies, let's go over to the weather center.
Yeah, just yell across the way.
Hey, well, welcome in, Ashley. Glad to have you.
Yeah,
Must be 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it has been an interesting morning. We've had lots of things going on here, and then as far as traffic goes, Ashley will get to that. Not big slowdowns, but just, something to talk about. This morning we are starting out with sunrise again. Beautiful morning to kick things off. It is 76. It's warm and muggy, though. Humidity's around 87%, which, is actually kind of lower than what we have seen, but it's still very muggy out there. Winds are around 6 miles per hour. It's going to be another hot and steamy day today and tomorrow with our weather impact alert, making sure we're staying just at that heat aware, making sure you're drinking water, and just make that part of your daily routine because it takes a little while for, again, your body to get a little bit more hydrated rather than trying to do it while you're already out or right before you go out. Don't forget about the kiddos, so they're playing outside. Of course, folks that may struggle a little bit more in this heat, and our pets. Don't forget about the pets. So ground is very, very hot for their paws, and of course, just panting and making sure they've got plenty of fresh water and some shade, and even better inside if you can. But that heat dome will continue to rule our area at least today and tomorrow before we start to see some changes headed our way. Good changes, though, as far as temperatures go and making it feel. But I heard Simone mention yesterday it's kind of a trade-off, and she's right. We've got these very hot conditions, but we do have a front pushing through by Friday, and that's going to bring in some chance for some rain, and that will move in on Friday and into the weekend. So this could impact your weekend plans. We'll talk more about those chances coming up in just a couple of minutes.
All right, Tracy, I know you were talking about this before I got here in the 5 o'clock hour, but this is an accident on Interstate 40. This is eastbound around the Menifee area, and it's been backing some things up, backing up just a little bit as you're driving on 40 eastbound this morning. So just be aware it's around mile marker 119. We can't really get a good view. There's not a camera that's just right there around that accident. But Tracy was telling me every once in a while she'll see some cars slowing down here before they get to this accident. But they are still working this. I'll give you a different view here with our live traffic map. Zooming into the location where this accident occurred. And again, 40 eastbound past Highway 59. So around exit 117, according to this. And we'll get another check of traffic and more coming up.
Tensions between the U.S. and Iran remain high this morning after another round of strikes in the region. CBS correspondent Jared Hill has the latest on the military response and where efforts stand now to reach a deal.
A U.S. official says the military hit 20 Iranian targets overnight in what they described as self-defense against Iranian air defense, ground control, and surveillance radar sites near the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran struck U.S. assets and personnel. We can't allow that.
The Pentagon says the strikes were in retaliation for Iran downing a U.S. Army Apache helicopter, though sources tell CBS News it's not clear if the move was intentional. The two pilots survived, rescued by an unmanned drone boat like this one, a first-of-its-kind operation for the U.S.
The pilots are fine, yeah.
Also overnight, Jordan says it intercepted 5 Iranian missiles that were heading toward an American military base there. Iran State media reported that its Navy fired missiles at U.S. military assets in Bahrain and Kuwait as well. On social media, Iran's foreign minister warned that Iranian forces, quote, will leave no attack or threat unanswered.
It is a reminder that the Strait of Hormuz is still an active combat area and that Iran still has ballistic missiles and drones that they are willing and able to use.
Despite the latest attacks, Vice President J.D. Vance told CBS News Sunday morning that the two countries are close to a peace agreement.
We are in a position to get a deal that is good for the United States economically and that really does deal with the Iranian nuclear program.
Amid the optimism, the vice president says that deal could still be weeks or months away. Jared Hill, CBS News.
In the meantime, a Morrilton man has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder in the death of a one-year-old child. Morrilton police say they got a call just before 3:30 Sunday afternoon. Authorities arrived on the scene at a home on Williams Street where they found Devontae Walls holding the unconscious baby girl. The social media post said Williams faces a preliminary charge of capital murder, but hasn't said yet how the child died. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office is warning the public about a surge in scams involving people posing as law enforcement officers. Investigators say the schemes are becoming more sophisticated, with scammers using your personal information to convince victims that they're facing arrest or other legal trouble.
Actually are able to identify one of them 100%, in which we're getting a warrant for that person. And then we have a second one that we're pretty 99% sure that they're identified. And we're in the process of getting a warrant on that one too. We just got a couple little things that we need to tighten down before we actually get the warrant on that one.
Detectives say these types of scams often target church members and elderly residents. Investigators say the scammers told this victim there were warrants for her arrest, and the only way to resolve the issue was to hand over large amounts of money. Authorities say the suspects had details about her family, her home address, and other personal information, making the story seem legitimate. Deputies say they have been able to identify 2 suspects in this case. Investigators say the woman did withdraw $80,000 from her bank account and gave the money to the suspects, and then days later she was contacted again and convinced to turn over another $80,000. As the temperatures rise, so do concerns about heat-related illness, especially for young athletes. From summer workouts to preseason practices, thousands of student athletes are spending hours outside in the heat. THV 11's Maya Ellison explains how recognizing the warning signs can help prevent a medical emergency.
Young athletes suit up for summer conditioning, sharpening their skills and preparing for the long season ahead. But as the temperatures climb, some coaches say it can be easy to overlook the warning signs of heat-related illness.
Hydration is key. Your body needs the fluids, especially in warm conditions where your body is sweating.
The CDC says heat-related illnesses happen when the body can no longer cool itself properly, leading to heat exhaustion and even worse, to life-threatening heat stroke. TJ White, head athletic trainer for the Benton School District, says that's why he constantly monitors conditions, especially during peak summer heat.
I set up some Gatorade in the locker room for the boys. I've also got a cold station over here where if we get a kid that does overheat, we've got a cold tub with ice ready to go. I kind of hang around this area so that if they need some help, being the host school, if they need some help, I'm here to help them.
And in his hand is a device designed to do just that.
I have this device called a Kestrel device. So the fan gauges the wind, this little piece gauges the humidity, and this gauges the ambient temperature. And so it reads, it takes all those into consideration, and then it gives me a number.
According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, nearly 9,000 high school athletes are treated for heat-related illnesses each year, leaving more and more health experts to put eyes on the field, where they say this is where prevention starts.
We've got stuff posted in our locker room about hydration, how much to drink based off body weights, checking our urine just to make sure we're hydrated properly.
That's Brad Harris, head football coach at Benton High School, who says education is just as important as preparation.
Hydration starts, 2 days out, and that's what we like during the football season. We start talking to our guys on Wednesdays about tapering down as far as physical activity, hydrating up, nutrition right, things like that.
White says the most important lesson extends beyond the field.
Heat stroke is preventable. They just need to hydrate and monitor themselves.
In Benton, Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
And in this Arkansas heat, AAA is warning drivers that a hot car can become deadly in minutes. Safety experts say prevention is simple. Never leave a child alone in a vehicle. Always check the back seat before locking up, and place a phone or purse in the back seat as a reminder. If you do see a child alone in a car, call 911 immediately. And speaking of that heat, let's go to meteorologist Tracy Bean with the forecast and George to help us plan our way to stay cool today.
That's right. Well, it's again for pets and people, making sure we're all taking care of each other. And our Sunny with a Chance of George forecast features this very beautiful JD. Take a look at that. Lives in Polk County. His dad John sent that in this morning. If you're headed out for a walk, not too bad. Still already a little humid this morning with those temperatures in the mid 70s. But as we're heading into the afternoon, we're just going to continue to see those heat index values grow. And by this afternoon, we could see those into the triple digits. So making sure, again, you are staying aware. And don't forget about the little feet. Now, it is going to be very warm. We're not quite getting to 95, but we're close to it. And that concrete, again, will be right around 140 and asphalt 155. So we're more in this range, I would say, somewhere in between here. But we are looking maybe 130 again for that concrete and even 145 for asphalt. It is going to be very warm out there. So make sure you're maybe not going out in the heat of the day and keeping their little feet protected, little paws. But we do have some relief headed our way, looking for a dip in those temperatures a little bit below average. Thank you. Yes, I would love that. We're also going to see a little rain as we're heading into the weekend, but we'll talk a little bit more about that and how it could impact your weekend plans, timing it all out coming up.
And this is a look just outside of Conway on Interstate 40 where there was an accident earlier. They're still working this accident. It's around the Menifee area on Interstate 40 eastbound. And you can't see an accident. I know you're saying, wait, what accident? There is an accident just past the overpass there. What we are seeing here, because there's not a traffic cam that's right there in the area of the accident, but we're seeing brake lights and backup sometimes as these vehicles are getting closer to the location of the accident. But let's get a closer look with our live traffic map so you can get a better idea of what we're talking about here. So again, this accident involving a tractor trailer with injury, and this happened earlier. Tracy's been talking about it in the 5 o'clock hour, but again, I-40 eastbound just past Highway 59, which is exit 117. So just be aware, it's not really slowing down traffic, but something to be aware of as you're moving through that area. We'll get another check of traffic coming up.